Welcome everybody to Pork and Reviews. Once again, I'm your host Pork, and I'm joined by the lovely Lady Tano. We have episode 16, the season finale of the Bad Batch tonight. Really excited about this. The title's right there, so I get to actually say what the title is Kamino Lost. So I guess. I guess it wasn't particularly.
No surprise,
yeah.
but yeah.
So, as we know, last episode showed the Empire's destruction of the cloning facilities on Kamino. We also saw the reunion of Crosshair with the Batch. So what'd you think of all that, Lady Tano?
I thought that it was. I think I had a couple of qualms about the last episode, but overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I'm super excited to see how this is gonna end. I'm guessing that there's gonna be some sort of big surprise or big reveal, or it's gonna end in like some type of cliffhanger. So, because we need something for the next season,
that's
right?
Because there is a season 2 already greenlit.
Exactly. Right. So something's going to happen, and I'm really excited to see where all these last 15 episodes will lead. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have some sort of like surprise cameo again. Probably someone that we've come across in the season. I wouldn't say anyone new. But you think everybody in the batch is surviving this episode?
I don't know. Like last time I said that I had a bad feeling about Crosshair. I felt like something was gonna happen to him. It wasn't gonna be good. I gave my little 2 cents about how, what if something were to happen to Hunter and he's like the leader of the group, and then Crosshair, like that whole like big twist. But that was just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of popped in my head, came out of nowhere. But I don't know. I don't know. I think if anyone is going to not survive it, it'll probably be Crosshair. But then what's going to happen to the rest? Like, what are we going to see for the rest of the...
if that's the case, do we see a Crosshair, like, redemption? I say we do. He's kind of like my pick, too, that if one of them were to, like, die, it's probably going to be Crosshair. But I see a bit of a redemption
before arc, he dies. Yeah.
But at the same time, Hunter's going to have to come to terms with what he said. They kind of just wrote him off right away. And I guess a little bit. The thing is I feel like they, when you look at it,
he made his choice.
Well, he didn't. They ramped up his chip.
They did, but I mean, like,
and then they're like all in with Omega, like everything to protect Omega, and that's why they never really went back. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he has a point. I see where he's coming from.
He has a point, but at the same time, what are you gonna do? If
well, I mean, they're constantly going back and like breaking people out for stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's
not like they don't do that. They do it all the time. They do it every episode.
That's true. No, you're right about that.
So I mean, that's like.
But they never lost hope. I feel like they never lost hope. With
him. But they also never went back.
I guess this whole time I've had this feeling like they're going to meet again. Like they didn't lose hope
because it's a TV show.
I know, but they had hope that he would still, change, or they would be able to get his chip out. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. And maybe because I think that he's kind of a jerk naturally, just even without the chip. So I'm like, oh man, like he's all in with the Empire. But you're right. I mean, the chip had a big thing to do. That was a big thing. But then now we find out that he took out his chip, or did he? We don't know. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I wonder if there's gonna be an end credit scene. There was an end credit scene at the end of Mando this last season.
Yeah.
We'll have to stick around for that one. We'll have to see.
5 minutes later, right?
You ready for this then?
Yeah.
All right, let's check this out. This guy.
Shoulder sweater, or what do we call them?
Totally.
We're getting right in.
I know, like right back where
Yeah.
right where we left off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crosshair's gonna be salty because he goes all in on the Empire, and then they just went and blew it all up, even with him on there.
Yep.
You know, he's sitting there talking about how important he was to the Empire, and now it's gonna be very clear that not really.
Not really.
It's like the Titanic sinking.
Yeah. Like you said in the last episode, end of an era.
Yeah, and it felt like it, like
Yeah.
just, it really did feel like, man, like that's it. Like the Clone Wars is over. Like
Yeah.
they're done.
The cities have been destroyed, sir. All Kamino facilities have.
And it's
They're home.
yeah, they're home, and that's
They're
what's interesting
home,
about
dude.
it is how much the clones regarded that as their home.
Yeah.
When they when they had to defend Kamino against Separatist forces.
Right.
When Grievous and Ventress attacked it,
Yeah.
it was this idea that this is our home. It's kind of bogus that they, they blew it all up. She's stuck into her crosshair.
Yeah.
Yeah, kid. Are you okay?
Not really. The room is flooded.
Going with that
Here's stuck.
Inception style ticking, or not Inception, Interstellar.
Cannot override the protocols.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it sounds like the track Mountains.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I guess
A little easy.
A 25-minute episode, I guess.
I guess. I thought it was gonna
It's gonna be a
lead
lot,
to like something else.
a lot more stressful
dramatic.
and dramatic. We're not out the woods yet.
Are those all like other?
Man, I hope there's not any clones in there.
I
That'd
know.
be terrible.
I mean, there had to have been, no?
I don't know.
Unless they took
they
them
were all
out.
empty, But
No, but how would they be empty? I mean, it was like a continuous.
I don't
thing.
know. They didn't make it clear if there was like still.
But I think there
clones
were.
in
I
it.
feel like
That's
there were.
terrible if there were. That's awful.
Why are you defending me? I am not. Understanding you does not mean that I agree with you.
Damn message.
This doesn't look very safe.
Barring any further complications, this enclosure remains a viable means of transport.
Yeah, you guys have been,
I know, they're just, like,
for being
hanging
so worried
out.
about it. Yeah, you guys
Like,
haven't moved
can you
anywhere.
Move it up a little bit.
Save the
Speed up.
drama till you guys are alive.
Exactly. Here we go. Yeah.
There's gonna be some monster. There's always a monster.
Maisie, these tunnels are protected, right?
Only
Monsters. Yep. Always.
Always.
Everything's like a dinosaur in the water. It's like that big swimming thing in Jurassic World.
Trying to stay alive as he runs away.
Come on, there's always a bigger fish. Better hurry up. Come on, that should have been a job for Echo.
Omega was created before us. Technically, she is older than we are.
Really?
Yep.
How come she stayed a little?
Well, maybe she's kind of like Boba.
That's gonna be
You
a
know, like
problem.
Boba's like an unmodified clone.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
You're right.
You know?
It would seem that,
Like-
once again, we are trapped.
Her growth rate is normal, I guess you can say, versus them
Yeah.
having accelerated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guide us to the surface?
Barring any extraneous complications, I should be able to complete the task.
Except he's running low on battery.
Your safety and well-being is my primary mission objective.
I don't know. I kind of feel like Tech and Echo should have like a bigger role, or should be able to
Yeah.
do more in these situations.
Yeah. I mean, they're not waterproof. I think the robot can go in the water. You remember that
Yeah.
same droid model?
Yeah, how
Five
Five-
was able
yeah,
to ride it
yeah.
back. Yeah.
The explosives are sick.
Alright. Seal them up.
I'm saying when they be hacking stuff, like that should be Echo stuff.
Doing great, AZ.
Oh no, of course.
Why didn't she go in the same one as Wrecker? I think he was by himself.
Well, they're all by themselves.
No, Hunter and Crosshair are together,
Really?
and Tech and Echo.
Oh, so he's running out of batteries.
Yep. I mean, why did they think of that when they're devising this plan? They made it. I just find it weird that they would have left her alone in one of those things.
It's okay. AZ's got me.
He's not gonna make it.
Oh no! Come on, just a little bit more.
I mean, it's still gonna go up. Just
Don't give up.
Oh.
We're nearly there.
it's gonna be the big death, the robot.
I have completed my objective.
No!
Aww.
I'm going after AZ.
What is she
No, it's just a
doing?
droid.
Dude. You see, this is why. You see, 2 people to 1.
You're right.
Why wouldn't they? I know Wrecker's
know.
big, but she's little.
Then we wouldn't have this drama right
But I know,
now.
but it doesn't make sense. Why would they leave the kid by herself? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Wait.
How could you?
Because then we wouldn't have that with Crosshair.
I know, but it just doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It's not logical. Huh.
They're ready to shoot that dude.
His redemption?
Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't need to be bigger than that. That was just she
start
saved
of a redemption?
she saved him earlier. That's what that
She's
was.
just repaying the favor.
We want different things, Crosshair. That doesn't mean that we have to be enemies.
And they're leaving them.
What are they supposed to do? Force him? Can't force him.
What?
Thank you for saving AZ. You're
Told you.
still their brother, Crosshair. You're my brother too.
Aw. Damn. Where are we at?
Mistress Nalase, welcome. We are all admirers of your scientific talents. The Empire has big things planned for you.
Oh, they're gonna be making her do some crazy stuff. Not good. Damn, that's it? Oh, that went by
right?
too fast.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's let's see if there's a end credit scene.
Yeah.
Let's wait it out.
Is that it? That's the end?
That's the end, yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
guess no credit scene.
Yeah, I guess no credit scene.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it was good. I just I don't know. I felt like there could have been more that happened. I guess I really wasn't expecting them to leave Crosshair behind like that. There'd be some resolution to that. So like I don't know. It's kind of like we're still in the same position we were. Just like Kamino's gone and
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I don't know, it was a little underwhelming for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it, but I do agree it was a little lackluster.
It was,
Like
right?
you said, underwhelming. And yeah, we are back to square one almost, Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
could have resolved a little bit more with the whole Crosshair thing,
Yeah.
it really is just like it just left off with where we've been all season.
Yeah.
We
Something could have happened.
Yeah,
Something. Whether they resolved it or something.
yeah, because all this was essentially was just a big escape episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how to. I feel like they could have like put both episodes together, and it would have been like a much more like comprehensive and exciting like episode if you had like if you went just all in, just have like a 70-minute long.
Yeah.
Or even in this case, it would have been like a 50 or 55-minute long final episode with both parts of it.
Yeah.
That would have felt a little more like it would have felt a little more like kind of worth the time. Mm-hmm. Versus just like, oh yeah, it's sunk, and so we're gonna find our way out of this thing for the episode.
Yeah.
And and it had some cool parts, but like ultimately, like when we're looking at with this whole Crosshair thing, they could have used this escape for a little bit more like developing that, and they like picked at it, unless this is gonna be like the big like if this is gonna be like the big like issue like for the next few seasons, like you know what I mean, like that's they gotta up the stakes a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like the previous episode was more exciting than this episode.
Yeah, and then it had that end sequence
because
with
we already
with the
knew
destruction
that
of
they were.
Kamino,
Yeah, we already knew that they were destroying Kamino. We already knew. Well, we had the reveal that Crosshair. Well, according to him, he said that he already took his chip out, and that's just how he is. I don't know. I feel like when we had the reunion, right? Of because they went after Hunter.
Yeah.
So they came back to Kamino. So that was like a big deal too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just feel like a lot more happened in the last episode.
Yeah,
and
versus
it's kind of
this one. Yeah.
It's kind of an odd episode to have as the season finale.
Yeah, because it's like the climax happened last episode, and there's like nothing in particularly exciting happened.
You know, I don't want to like constantly be talking crap about the Bad Batch, the show, and I feel like I'm constantly talking about things that I don't like about the show, and you know, there's plenty that I do like, but I'm going to repeat what I've been saying the whole season. I think there's something missing from this show. Yeah. I don't know what, and I think it happens at various points throughout the season where I just feel like it's not, and I'm gonna go out and say it, and again, it's okay if you disagree, but I just feel like the quality of the show, of the story, the writing is just not there when you compare it to the Clone Wars from the beginning, not to even mention the last couple of seasons that were like, some of the best Star Wars period, the Rebels, the Mandalorian, the only one that, I would say I wouldn't put it in that category is, what's the name? Resistance. But that, barring that show, I feel like it's missing a lot. Like I don't think I've ever had, except for Resistance, I don't think I've had this many issues with the show.
Well, yeah, and
it's good. And again, like I love anything Star Wars. You give me Star Wars, I'm gonna watch it. But it's just, and there's a lot of good, right? So I don't want to make it seem as if I hate the show, or I think that it's all like bad or crap or trash. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm underwhelmed in general. I have been underwhelmed, probably from episode 2 and on. To be honest.
I mean, they
a little surprised.
They my issues is they kind of they definitely sidelined Tech and Echo. We had zero from them.
I didn't. I feel like I didn't hear from Echo at all.
Yeah, and I've seen that criticism, and it's fair because you had your entire introduction to the Batch ended up with Echo joining the team, and then now all of a sudden he's kind of just like a sideline character, And they keep coming across these droids and stuff, and then they end up remember I was joking that Echo was essentially their droid. There's always a droid in these teams, in these Star Wars teams. And Echo, I was joking and saying that he was their droid. And, it has just not been utilized like that.
I just feel like he would naturally have a lot more to contribute to the team.
Yeah.
Than what it seems.
And I'm hoping that that's fixed in the next season. Maybe this first season is just kind of really setting everything up. And it has done a pretty good setup in terms of bringing in these other players into this season, but none of it ended up amounting to anything at this point. And that's the big issue, because then it turns all of these potentially it turns all these potentially important cameos, when you had Rex, the Martez sisters, who else?
Fennec.
All of them. What it does is it turns it into cheap fan service. And, I have issues with it when it's just kind of cheap, cheesy fan service, unless it's revisiting this stuff, but it didn't bring any of it together. Yeah. So I'm hoping
at all.
Yeah.
Because of course they could in the later seasons bring things together, right? Bring back these characters.
Yeah, but there was zero
none
of it. Zero.
No follow up, nothing.
None of it. And that's where I have the issue with is just you're setting all these things up, and then you don't it's not we're talking 8 episodes or 10 episodes. We're talking 16 episodes, and then don't even get me started on the last episode, which was awful.
Yeah.
And you know, when you look at like. You look at these like the episodes like that, and it's like that's just like wasted space. That space that could have been used for something more meaningful. And I think that that's the issue that the show had, is that, you know, one thing that like with like the Mandalorian, you know, everyone complained, and it wasn't a real complaint, right? But everyone just mentioned how, you know, it sucks that it's only like 8 episodes. Oh, if you guys hear the dog snoring, he snores like a person, so it sounds like a person snoring. He's snoring right now. But you know, people, you know, you complain that, you know, Mandalorian's only 8 episodes, you know, but when you look at it, it's like 8 very quality episodes.
Yes.
Everything matters, even if you didn't like episode 2, I think it was
of the second season.
Yeah.
But they
you
were
know,
quality
it
episodes.
still comes back,
and it moved the story along, and there were important aspects of that. Even though it wasn't my favorite episode, there were important aspects from that.
And for a 16 episode season, I feel like this thing had a lot of wasted space.
Yeah, I feel like there were a lot of missed opportunities here, and it just it made me feel at the end kind of just like
and that's the thing is like, you know, and you know the at this episode 16 was kind of like definitive of what the entire season was, where it's like you get this build up and then it doesn't pay off, it doesn't amount to anything.
Yeah, how are you gonna have the second to last episode be better than the last episode?
Like way better. Like
way better.
You know, like,
and then the third to last episode.
This had like
shitty.
almost zero like. It's almost had like zero like real drama and stuff, because it's like we see them get into these like mix-ups, and they immediately saw her. I mean, you were laughing because like when they were trapped in that flooding room, it's like 2 minutes.
I was like, oh, this is
it's gonna be major.
Something's gonna happen. Either he's gonna like somehow, you know,
and then 3 minutes later,
or like. And then
3 minutes
not
later,
even 3 minutes later. It was like
the scene is done. You know,
a minute later, the scene was done.
Even like when you look at like the monster, like this, you know,
nothing happened.
Nothing felt dire. Nothing felt like a real. There was any real conflict there.
Do you think? And I was gonna say, do you think it's because they have a kid there with them?
Sometimes I think that.
But then, like Ezra went through some serious stuff.
I honestly think that Disney be making it softer. They 100% they do.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure. But then what happened with Rebels? Ezra went through some.
There's a lot of people that criticize. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that criticize. You know, that in Rebels that a lot of it wasn't real easy. You know, the way that they're able to like blow up ships. And,
yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, you look at what Ezra went through. He saw some evil stuff. He went through some traumatized. He saw some traumatizing stuff. And then he was an orphan, basically. I mean, we didn't know, like, his parents were taken away, and he didn't know, but basically he was an orphan living on his own.
You know, but that being said,
having to survive on his own.
Going back to season 1 of Rebels, though, they did do a better job at kind of like raising these stakes.
Yeah.
You know, when the Inquisitor captures Kanan, when they have to go rescue him. I mean, you know, you watch that season finale, and that was like classic Star Wars. There had some real like resolution. You had the really awesome lightsabers fights at the end, you know, and it was just so many good moments in just that one episode, you know, like and this one really fell flat. I mean, were there any like really great standout moments in this episode? And I don't believe there were. Everything just kind of felt like, you know.
Another thing that I would say is, okay, if you're not going to have those big, gigantic moments, and I know this might sound like very cheesy to some people, kind of like, I don't care, but I think it does make a difference. Again, I feel that we didn't get the relationship building, right? Like, Echo and Tech, we barely heard from them, right? We heard more from Crosshair, Hunter, and a little bit more, or from Wrecker, but we didn't get those individual. At the very least, you could have had the individual episodes where, you know, two of them might have had some sort of like adventure or something. We saw that a little with like Omega and Wrecker, but I just feel like I don't know that much more from each character than what I knew from like episode 1.
And that's something that
like I basically know the same amount.
So that's what I'm hoping to see from season 2. You know, I'm hoping to see more development of these like individual relationships. You know, maybe, you know, in the like we talk about in Rebels where they have their like kind of like these filler episodes are taken up by a lot of these like partnership episodes where you get like Ezra and Zeb go on missions. You go maybe Sabine and Hera or Sabine and Ezra. And, you know, you use that opportunity to kind of build these relationships. Yep. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for season 2. You know, I hope that we don't lose a lot of these.
For the filler episodes.
Yeah, for the filler episodes. But I'm hoping we don't lose a lot of these also, like, these cameos. Like, you know, Cat Bane being around is still huge. Fennec being in this, you know, a player in this is huge, too. And, you know, I hope that's something that we go back to. The Martez sisters, Rex, all of them. So I'm hoping that we do build on that stuff more, while building on like, you know, we got to come up with like where this kind of story is going. Like this story, we know where Star Wars is, we know the time period they're in, but you know what's gonna drive these characters outside of just like, oh, we got to go and like do random odd jobs across the galaxy. You know?
Well, I'm gonna reiterate.
They have to get pulled into something bigger.
Yes, well, I'm going to reiterate what I've been saying, and it's that the main reason I was excited about this show was because I wanted to find out what happened, how was the transition period across the universe, right? Across just all these different planets. How did this transition happen? How did all these, right? And we're getting some of it, right, with like the clones and stuff, but I feel like personally, I feel like it's focusing too much on the Bad Batch, but we're not even getting any
it's just
true
like it's just
good quality
it's Hunter, Omega, and Wrecker.
Stories. Like we're not okay. At least if you're gonna really concentrate on the Bad Batch, since that's the name of the show. Fine, but then make it quality, right? Because otherwise, what I want to see is not so much of the Bad Batch and more of what is actually going on.
The world building.
Yes, the world building. Like, because there's a lot going on. You know, I want to see that, and we saw it with like Hera and you know,
like that was one that was like
some of the best
parts of this show, and then it had nothing to do with the show. And maybe that's an issue.
And for me, that's what I want to see. That's honestly what I want to see.
The big issues of this show is like that is, you know, all these other things, all these other characters that they've introduced, you know, are they just too large for this show? You know, just everything else is too big for this show. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I would be happier if they were to maybe take the focus out of the Bad Batch, and I know that's the title of the show, and just move it to like what's going on everywhere else. Yeah, I feel like those stories are.
That's not going to happen. That would have to be its own show, its own, you know, its own separate.
But why? This could have incorporated both. This could, and
they would have to write for
it. Could have, yes, it could have incorporated both. They should have incorporated both because this was a perfect opportunity to do that. They did it with a couple of episodes, and like I said, at the very least, okay, then have a good story then with the Bad Batch. Don't make it like just so incredibly redundant. Like, damn, like. All right, we get it already. They keep on going on missions and they keep on resolving everything very quickly. Great.
Yeah.
End of story.
This might be my second like least favorite episode out of this.
Well, because the
season.
stakes were so high.
Yeah, it really was. It really fell flat for me. Yeah. It doesn't leave me anything to be really excited for going forward.
No.
You know. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see when season 2 starts. You know, and of course we're all in.
Of course. Of course.
And anything else you want to add on this?
No, that's it. I just I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good episode in that it wasn't terrible, right? And it had some, touching moments and stuff. But then again, everything got resolved, and I'm just a little disappointed overall with the whole show. And I know I've been saying that since a long time ago, but or maybe I'm just looking for a different show. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a problem with Star Wars fans. We always go and we build these things in our head, and then when it doesn't deliver on what we expect, we have some issues, and we're all guilty of that.
Yeah. Well, but I think, with that said, they should be doing a better job with the show. Yeah. I think there's a lot of holes. They
need to get this. They need to get it together, because it especially towards the end, it really just felt like sloppy, and they just threw some stuff together. Like I said,
that's what I don't like when they throw these cameos for us to be surprised and excited.
Yeah, and then they do nothing
to get
with
that reaction, like literally that reaction from fans. But then you don't go anywhere with it. Yeah. But or it's just there just to get the cheap whatever.
Yeah.
Fan service.
Just to generate buzz and stuff, and then you do nothing with it.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't bring in a Jedi, though. I stand by it. I don't think this show should have a Jedi or deserves to have a Jedi at this point in time. So, we'll see. Yeah. But anyway, I guess it leaves it open for a lot of possibilities for the next season. And I hope that it just gets better.
I hope they make it better. You know what I mean? Like
first season is always tends to be the worst season.
It's always wonky,
right?
But look how great season 1 of The Mandalorian was. Then really you would, and this is like essentially from some of the Filoni's involved with that, so he knows better. You know what I mean? At some point, like you gotta go and put put him to task, and it's like, dude, like.
You've done some amazing
things. Like, what's going on here? Like you're
running out of ideas. I hope not.
Running out of ideas. You're ruining an opportunity. Ruining
an opportunity, but it does almost feel sometimes.
Unless Disney and Kathleen Kennedy got their hands all over it, and that's why. I mean, you
maybe.
Right.
Maybe, but they've already allowed, The Mandalorian, Rebels to exist. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would they put the brakes right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Definitely, we'll definitely having more content. Lady Tano and I are still on our perpetual Star Wars binge, so we may be revisiting some of our favorite episodes just to give you guys some content, and we can talk about some of these episodes, especially some of our favorites.
Disagree on things, agree on others.
Thank you all so much. If you guys did like this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. Definitely, we're coming back for season 2, and we'll have some more stuff coming out. All right, thank you all, and you guys have a good night, and God bless.